am I wrong here? You are religious in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to bring this up in this day and age when people go, no, I'm not religious, I'm only spiritual. You know what the Latin root of religion is? Re-legare. And legare means to bind together. Re means again. Well, in a world that's saying I'm only spiritual because I want unity, that's exactly what religion means. We bastardized the meaning of it over time, and we've excluded people and we've corporatized it and such. But yes, I am religious. That character, you know, I had written stories. I'd written a college paper called John Wayne Goes West, and it was about how can you be a believer in a world of science? And I remember writing things like during the making of that movie, like science is the practical pursuit of God. The two are not exclusive. They dance together. They go together. Belief and science, and I never saw those as contradictions. And that's part of the reason I attacked that role and became a part of that movie. I wanted to play a person that had that point of view of a believer in a world of science.
Each of us is now a part of his resurrection body, refreshed and sustained at one fountain, his spirit, where we all come to drink. The old labels that we once used to identify ourselves, labels like Jew or Greek, slave or free, are no longer useful. We need something larger and more comprehensive. Let's take a moment to think about how this makes all of us more significant and not less. A body isn't just a single part blown up into something huge. It's all the different but similar parts arranged and functioning together. Think about it. If foot said, I am not elegant like hand, embellished with rings, I guess I don't belong to this body, would that make it so? Of course not. And if ear said, I am not beautiful like you, eye, limpid and expressive, I don't deserve a place on the head, would you want to remove it from the body? I mean, if the body was all eye, how could it hear? If the body was all ear, how could it smell? As it is, we see that God has carefully placed each part of the body right where he wanted it. Now let's also think about how this keeps our significance from getting blown up into self-importance. For no matter how significant we are, it is only because of what we are a part of. Think about it. An enormous eye or a gigantic hand would not be a body, it would be a monster. What we have is one body with many parts, each its proper size and in its proper place. No part is important on its own. Can you imagine the eye telling the hand, get lost, I don't need you, hand, or the head telling the foot, you're fired, your job has been phased out? As a matter of fact, in practice, it seems to work the other way. The lower the part, the more basic the part of the body, the therefore more necessary. And think about it, we can live without an eye, for instance, but we cannot live without a stomach. When it's a part of our own body we are concerned with, it makes no difference whether the part is visible or clothed, higher or lower. We give it dignity and honor just as it is, without comparisons. And if anything, we seem to have more concern for the lower parts of our body than the higher. I mean, think about it. If we had to choose, wouldn't we prefer good digestion to a full head of hair? Yeah, that's debatable. I mean, hang on, I can handle a little indigestion, but come on. Been working on this hairline for a while. God, give me a break on that one. The way God designed our bodies is a model for understanding our lives together in society as well as in the church. Every part dependent on every other part. The parts we mention and the parts we do not mention. The parts we see and the parts we don't see. If one part hurts, every other part is involved in the hurt and in the healing. If one part flourishes, every other part enters into that exuberance. We are Christ's body. That's who we are. We must never forget this. Only as we accept our part of that body does our part mean anything.
At the time that I chose and wanted to go inhabit rust and coal was the time that my faith was strongest. And if my faith would have been as strong, I might have been a little more fearful of going so deep into this man's mind, spirit, and ethos. And
So you had some protection.
because that's where, of course, we're on the way to dying. You talk about it all the time. It's tough. It's cruel. It's hard. We're out here. This thing. Okay, I'm in. So if that's inevitable.
That's the strange thing, you know, and I felt too. I mean, I can certainly understand the argument.
Tell me about your spiritual life.
I'm happiest and most connected spiritually when all day, when I'm praying with my eyes open, when this is a prayer, when every exchange is a prayer. But truthfully, what do I also need?
Yeah.
Come Friday, I kind of need Sunday morning. I need that church. I need to go to that place to do inventory on the loved ones in my life, to do inventory on my week, to roll through my mental Rolodex and see the people I love in their truest form and just be like, I wish that for them. And then end on me, end on an image of myself, not Instagram happy, not just where I am. And if I can grasp that image, that's my final. So let's take that to the week. But I need that Sunday. I need that ritual where I'm forced into going at the most, I'm number 2. You know what I mean? I need that humility. Humility was a word that I struggled with for decades because I would always lose confidence and I'd be passive.
Explain that.
Humble. And I would recede. And then I heard a definition that humility was just admitting you got more to learn. And all of a sudden that one my shoulders went back. Oh, I'm in.
Yeah.
Yay. But now I'm engaged. Now I can be involved. Now I can be confident. Now I can be like, again, I know what I don't know. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff I don't know. Well, that's humble, but face it. You're not bowing your head to that. You're going, yeah, I do 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm still searching. Well, cool. Instead of, I don't. And I've gotten a better relationship with that through my spiritual life, and it's in the last probably 10 years. But I do still need Sunday. I was raised on Methodist, and Methodist in a stereotypical way. It's a lot about gratitude, being thankful for what you do have. That's still a big basis of my sort of daily spiritual. And I got that from a family and try to carry it on with my family. And I think it's really important. I think it's really strong, easy foundation.
Tell me about your prayer life.
Yeah. There's the nightly ritual around the table.
Mm-hmm. Before dinner?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which everyone goes around. Give us one thing you're grateful for.